I'm Bill Smoyer, and I want to welcome you all to our virtual trade show. I want to introduce a new employee of ours whose first trade show is today, and it's Eric Mosier. So Eric, why don't you tell us a little about yourself and your background in the industry?
Thanks, Bill. It's great to be here with Access Hardware. So, as you said, I'm new to the company and I came from the integrator world. I used to work out of Simi Valley, California, and now I'm blessed to be part of such a great organization.
So Eric, today we're going to have some of our manufacturers stopping by our booth. ASSA Abloy is going to be here and they're going to discuss their Medeco XT product line and also the Aperio product line, which we're very excited to have in stock at Access Hardware Supply. Also, Allegion will stop by and they're going to discuss the hands-free door operator solutions from LCN, along with the mobile credential solutions from Schlage, which are new to the market.
Well, that's exciting stuff, Bill. I can't wait to see what our reps are going to show us.
Now let's check in with Jasmine Jones from ASSA Abloy to show us the Aperio line.
Hi, I'm Jasmine Jones, and I'm an Integration Solution Specialist for ASSA Abloy. What I'd like to do today is introduce you to our Aperio wireless technology. It's our hub-based, global, near real-time access control wireless solution. Our Aperio wireless technology has integration with over 50 software OEM partners. This is our IN100 lock. It talks wirelessly to a hub and has everything self-contained: card reader, electrified lock, door position switch, and request to exit. On the back side of this lock is a controller which houses 6 AA batteries. I'll just show you how this works. Present the card reader, it unlocks, you go in the door, and then when you're ready to exit out, just exit out. So this is our server cabinet lock, which can go on cabinets, sliding drawers, or even lockers. And then it will relock. This is our wireless glass lock. It takes 4 AA batteries. If you see, you can present your card, and the door will unlock. What happens is there's a rubber gasket that sits on this glass. There's no need to put any holes or anything like that on the glass. There's this U-bracket that holds it in place. It will hold up to 740 pounds of pressure. When it senses when the door comes back together, and that's your door position switch, and you can hear that it just locked, okay? On the back side, you have what we call a request to exit, either ADA latch or a thumb turn. You simply turn it and exit out. It will sense again that the doors come together, and it will relock. So everything is all self-contained in one. This is our data server cabinet lock. Simply present the card. It will unlock. You can go into the server cabinet, hold the handle in place, and it relocks.
What are the credential types available on the Aperio line?
So the Aperio line comes with a multi-class reader. So it can read anything from a 125 kilohertz card all the way up to our CIOS technology, CIOS cards. It also can read mobile credentials. So it comes standard with NFC, but you certainly can get it with a Bluetooth credential.
How can I utilize these in a lockdown environment?
Okay, in the event that you wanted to do a global lockdown, what's happening is this lock is polling this hub every 5 seconds. You can set it down to 5 seconds. If it was on second number 3, it's going to go 4, 5, and then everything would lock down. So that's on a global lockdown. But let's say you had an active shooter situation and you wanted to do a localized lockdown. You could do that. However, this feature can be enabled or disabled depending on the OEM manufacturer. But there's a button on the controller side of the lock. If you push this button, you are now in a lockdown situation. Active shooter picks up a card on the floor, thinks he can get in the door, he tries to use it on this lock, it's not going to open. Then, if let's say you have the all clear, everything is secure, and you want to just clear that lockdown, you can just hit the request to exit and exit out the door.
Do I need a hub for every device?
No, so the hub, you could have a one-to-one hub, which means one lock talking to one hub, and that's for situations where we don't have integration with an OEM partner. Where that might come into play is, let's say, for example, you have a school with a cinder block wall. Normally, you would have to run conduit down that cinder block wall with a back box and mount a card reader. Why not just mount this hub inside the building and put on a wireless lock, and now you didn't have to put all that infrastructure in place? That's a great one-to-one application. With some manufacturers, we have what's called 8-to-1, where you can do 8 Aperio locks to one hub. And again, you can mix and match those locks. Other manufacturers, we have what's called an IP hub, where you can do 16 Aperio locks to one hub.
Can you tell me about the OEM partners?
So we have integration with over 50 OEM software partners, and we're adding to that list every day.
What makes your product unique to the market?
So one of the features that Aperio has is smart credential cache. In the event that there's a loss of communication between the hub and the lock, or the controller and the hub, it's still going to know who gets in and at what time. The lock has a dynamic memory, and it's still going to remember 1,000 credentials and 200 events.
How do I know when to change the batteries?
So you'll know when to change the batteries because it'll be shown on the lock as well as in the OEM software.
What's the read range of the wireless hub?
So we like to say on new construction 50 feet because we like to err on the side of caution. It can go through 2 standard construction walls. There's also an external antenna that can go onto the hub, and that external hub antenna changes the pattern of the range, okay? But on existing projects, what we like to do is Access Hardware Supply can loan the certified integrator a lock on a block like this. We put the lock where the lock's going to go, and we put the hub where we think the hub is going to be placed. We attach this weekend tester. Someone presents the card to the lock. If you get a green light, we know you're good to go.
So how can Aperio wireless locks save me money?
Well, again, you don't need to have all that infrastructure around the door. It's wireless to the lock. So there's no need to have all that conduit, back boxes, cabling. So it's not only going to save on material, but it's going to save on labor as well.
So what's new with Access Hardware? Well, recently we've totally revamped our website. What's that mean to you? That means you can purchase hardware anytime you want.
And also, Eric, you can generate quotes that you're working on for projects and save them. And when you're ready to order them, with one click, you can turn that quote into an order instantly. So Phil, what is new this year?
Well, for 2020, one of our main focuses has been mobile technologies. And when I say mobile, I mean both our locking technologies and the new mobile credential, which I'm really excited about.
So why mobile?
Because we've moved to a mobile economy. Think about that smartphone you carry in your pocket. Everybody carries it. They might lose a key, they might lose a card, but everyone is mindful of where their phone is, and it's a computer that does all kinds of things, but oh, by the way, it might make a phone call too, but we use it for everything these days.
Can you provide an overview of the Schlage mobile access systems?
Sure. Building on what I just said about the convenience of using your phone, we took that idea and put it into a variety of Schlage lock products. Schlage is a 100-year-old trusted brand name in the industry, so we took that technology and put it into a trusted brand name, a variety of products across the Schlage portfolio, so you can put it on just about any opening you can think of. In addition to that, the mobile credential allows us to issue the credentials virtually, so you don't have to give somebody a physical card for them to lose. You don't have to go to the door to issue them the credential. You just give them you send them a text with the credential, and they have the credential, they can open the door.
So how has this impacted your electronic lock portfolio?
We offer that technology in a variety of different types of locks, whether you have a cylindrical opening, a mortise opening, or a storefront or other specialized type of opening. The cylindrical is our LEB, which is this one here, and then we have our mortise, which is the LEB, and then for those other specialized openings that I mentioned, we have our door controller, which is the CTEB.
To build on the last question, how are the new mobile-enabled e-locks different than the original?
For both the cylindrical, the NDEB, and the mortise, the LEB, we added the Bluetooth technology, which allows you to use your phone to open them. And then for both of them, we also included a retrofit kit allowing you to upgrade an LE or an NDE to an NDEB or an LEB in the field. But the feature addition that I'm probably most excited about is with the NDEB, we added this interior push button. And it illuminates when it's being used, but it allows you to convert this into an office or a privacy function as well.
Are the B versions, as well as all the new features that you've just mentioned, supported in the Engage web and mobile apps?
Yes, they are.
Are the B versions and new features also supported by the physical access control systems providers?
That answer will vary depending on who that physical access control provider is, otherwise known as a PACS.
Switching gears, how has this impacted your reader portfolio?
We've added 3 different readers with the Bluetooth technology. We've added a single gang with keypad, and a mullion.
To build on the last question, how are the new mobile-enabled readers different than the original?
Well, as I mentioned, we added the Bluetooth technology in them, in addition to the ability to read smart technology and proximity technology. We've also reduced the quick connect cable projection on the back of it from 1 inch down to about 1/4 of an inch to make installation easier. And then we also made it plug and play capable right out of the box, or very easy to commission via the Engage mobile app.
And what about the Schlage Mobile Access Credential?
That allows you to use your phone instead of a traditional badge to operate a door. You just download the Schlage mobile app in either iOS or Android. Once you have the app downloaded, you just open it up, select the door you want to open, click on that one, and if accepted, it'll send an encrypted signal to the door and unlock it.
Can you tell me some of the new features and benefits of the Schlage Mobile Access Credential?
Sure. It offers a very quick response time. You can operate a door from up to 30 feet away. It offers best-in-class encryption. And the best part is once it's downloaded from the cloud and access rights are granted, it'll operate without cellular or internet connection.
I've heard that there is a free trial of the Schlage Mobile Access Credential. Can you tell me more about that?
Sure. Through the end of 2020, we're offering it free of charge to encourage adoption. We'll begin charging for it in 2021.
Can you tell me more about the pricing model once the free trial is up?
We'll be introducing more about that later on this year.
Can you show us how it works?
Sure. You just go to your app store and you download the Schlage Mobile Access app. Once you've downloaded the app, your site administrator will send you an SMS message granting you access. Once you have that access, you just open the app, you'll see a list of doors that you have access to, click on the one you want, and it opens right up for you.
And where can I find more information on the Schlage Mobile Access solution?
The best place to start is our Schlage Mobile Access Solutions landing page, which can be found through the Allegion homepage.
Hey Phil, I really appreciate you coming by the booth and showing us all the great new stuff from Allegion.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Hey, and don't leave us too soon, because we still have to give away that $1,000 Amazon gift card.
So up next, we have Josh Tucker of Medeco. He's going to be showing us a Medeco XT.
Hi Josh, what type of key do you have there?
Hey Bill, this is an example of an emerging security platform known as an intelligent key. This, what I have here, is an example of what we call Medeco XT. This is a solution that is bridging the gap between a key system and a traditional access control system.
That looks more like a fob that you'd use with a card reader.
At times, some people will confuse this with a traditional fob or even a car key for that matter, but this here is an example of a purely electronic key.
An electronic key?
Yes, the Medeco XT system utilizes a completely electronic key. And this key will interact with digital cylinders, and depending on the access permissions of the key, a key will be given or denied access. So rather than relying on the mechanical keyway or the internal mechanisms within a cylinder, we're purely working off of the programming of the electronic key.
It's almost like an electronic access control system, but just with cylinders and keys.
That's, in a lot of ways, you can look at it that way. The Medeco XT system, I like to say, is a key system with elements of access control. So rather than relying on mechanical mechanisms, we are actually bringing in some subtle elements of access control, such as a schedule and audit capability, and actually putting that into the key as well as the cylinders within our infrastructure. And here, Bill, are a few different examples of different retrofit options the Medeco XT system can actually offer. So what the Medeco XT system, what you have to do here is simply go into a corresponding system software, create a schedule with specific access rights, and push that information from a programming station to a corresponding Medeco XT key. So with this system, there's no need for additional conduit, additional power supply, or even additional hardware. In essence, just by handing out keys and installing cylinders, one can upgrade the entirety of the opening.
So you are saying that there is no need to modify the door? All I have to do is install cylinders, navigate through a system software, and then program and hand out keys?
Yes and yes. So the Medeco XT system leverages the pre-existing infrastructure on a door opening. So merely by adding cylinders to the opening, one can actually upgrade the entirety of it. So no longer do you need to cut keys or pin cylinders. All you have to do is simply program a Medeco XT key with certain permissions, and with that, you can gain access to a corresponding opening point. Once the key is inserted, there's a digital transaction between the cylinder and the key. So while the cylinder is going through the schedule within the key, an audit is being logged between the key and the cylinder in the non-volatile memory within both the cylinder as well as the key.
This sounds great, but there has to be a catch. I'll bet this technology can only do a limited amount of cylinder formats, right?
One might think that, but being that Medeco is a high-security keying manufacturer, the Medeco factory engineers can actually phase the Medeco XT technology into a variety of different form factors. Everything from a conventional format, such as a mortise, a rim cylinder, or even key and lever cylinder, all the way down to an interchangeable core type form factor. For example, a small format interchangeable core. But we don't just stop there. We can also phase that into, say, Sargent large format interchangeable core, a Corbin Russwin large format interchangeable core, Yale large format interchangeable core, and even some other very specific industry standard full-size interchangeable core offerings. And it doesn't just stop there. This technology can even be phased into specialty cylinder formats such as cam locks, Euro profile cylinder offerings, cabinet locks, switch locks, and even padlocks.
Even padlocks?
Yes, Bill. This is what has led the Medeco XT system to be deployed in a variety of different sectors. Everything from being the key override at data centers to being a solution for compliance in the critical infrastructure sectors such as the water, electric, and renewable verticals, and even being a potential solution for full hospital re-keys to really combat losing mechanical keys year over year. The Medeco XT system, with its variety of cylinder offerings and even its extracurricular offerings, have led to this solution being a prime deterrent to overcome pain points that an institution might be encountering.
And just looking around, it seems that this system has so much more than just keys and cylinders.
Yes, while the key and the cylinder are the core drivers of the Medeco XT system, the Medeco XT system is an ecosystem of products ranging from intelligent key cabinets, traffic cabinet enclosure locks, guard tour function type solutions, as well as a variety of other different types of solutions that really help secure the opening. While Medeco XT might seem like a new technology, the solutions actually exist in the parking meter sector as well as the OEM sector. As a solutions provider, Medeco XT can fill in the gap of your security continuum.
That certainly appears to be the case. Thank you for your time, Josh. It was an absolute pleasure.
Bill, the pleasure was absolutely mine.
Now, Phil Miller is going to be coming by our booth to show us the LCN touchless solutions, which supports a healthy environment.
Oh wow, that's going to be exciting. What a timely offering. With COVID-19, we have seen a shift in focus to touchless solutions. Are you experiencing the same?
Absolutely. The pandemic is completely reshaping the way we live and experience our daily routine. And people are looking for new ways to change that routine with health and well-being in mind, in addition to continuing to be convenient as well.
Tell me more about what do you mean when you say healthy environments, and how does that relate to door hardware?
Healthy environments in relation to door hardware means industry best practices, such as cleaning and disinfecting, touchless solutions, and hands-free solutions. There's a lot of different ways to accomplish that, such as hands-free poles, wave sensors, contactless readers, etc.
Can you tell me a bit more about cleaning and disinfecting?
Sure. At Allegion, we recommend following CDC guidelines. CDC guidelines give various ways to clean and disinfect door hardware. We recommend using a mild detergent to lightly wipe the door hardware and then letting it air dry so it's most effective. If you'd like to learn more about that, there's a link to our Healthy Environments page on our Allegion.com website.
What are the alternative surface technologies that you offer?
There are a few different ways to accomplish that in the industry. Many manufacturers use silver ion-based technologies which can inhibit the growth of bacteria. And there is also promise shown by copper-based alternatives.
How does this keep environments healthy?
As I mentioned, it helps to inhibit the growth of bacteria, which kills the bacteria.
Now that I've heard more about cleaning, disinfecting, and surface technologies, can you tell me a bit more about your hands-free solutions?
Hands-free solutions, there's a variety of ways to accomplish it. One of the quickest and easiest ways to do it is to use hands-free poles. And Ives, one of the Allegion brand, offers several different types of poles, either arm poles or foot poles that allow you to open a door manually without using your hands. Quick, easy to install, and a very inexpensive way to make an opening hands-free. Another way to accomplish that manually is with a hold-open door closer. In high traffic openings, such as school when classes are letting out, a maintenance person can prop open the door with the hold-open arm and let it stay open until all the kids pass through so nobody has to touch the opening.
What about touchless?
There's several ways to make an opening touchless, but probably the most common is to pair an auto operator with either a wave sensor or a contactless reader.
I see. Can you tell us more about auto operators?
Sure. Auto operators are sort of an electrified door closer, but they open the door as well. You mount them on the door, and they electrically, upon a signal, whether it's from a wave sensor or a reader, they electronically open the door so you don't have to touch it.
What type of auto operator is that?
This is the LCN Auto Equalizer, one of our premier low-energy operators. But between LCN and Falcon, we offer a complete line of low-energy auto operators that cover a gamut of features and benefits and price points as well.
What type of touchless actuators do you offer?
LCN offers a variety of touchless wave sensors, such as the one right here. We have narrow style, wide style like this, as well as boxed units for outdoor high abuse environments.
We also talked about Schlage mobile access solutions, but can you tell us how that can be incorporated into a touchless application?
Sure. In a secure opening, you could pair a contactless reader that requires a valid credential to open versus the wave sensor that allows anyone to gain access. So you'd present a valid credential, whether it be a fob, a card, or a phone with a mobile credential, and that would trigger the operator to open.
If I wanted to learn more about Allegion Healthy Environment Solutions, where would be a good place to start?
Our Healthy Environments landing page is a great place to start. You can find a link to that at us.allegion.com.
Thank you for joining us today, Phil. We really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Well, Eric, you're the second person to be featured in our marketing videos here at Access Hardware Supply. But have you met my dog, Buddy?
Yeah.
Well, Eric knows Buddy, but for those of you who do not know Buddy, he was the first animal to be involved in our marketing videos here at Access Hardware Supply. He delivered packages and made everyone feel good, and our marketing partner after the filming asked me to bring him back to their office so they could see him and say hello. Well, Buddy saw a fake ficus tree in the lobby and lifted his leg to it, and that was the last time he was invited to our marketing partner. Buddy's retired now and spends most of his time chasing rabbits, sleeping, and being tormented by our new kitten Shelby. Buddy reminded me of the importance of perimeter fencing recently. He was following me around the house as he usually does, and I propped the gate open to do something in the front yard and forgot and left it open. Buddy promptly left the house and ended up on the front porch and greeted my wife. Now, my wife was very upset with me and told me to shut the gate. This reminds me of our new closers by Lochinox. They're specifically designed for the gate and fence industry, and I want to highlight the 5 key points of these closers. These closers can close heavy gates like the Mammoth HD that can close up to a 440-pound gate. They meet the ADA with models that can be adjusted to the 5-pound code as used in certain jurisdictions. They have a model designed to retrofit existing gates. The all-weather fluid in the closer is designed for temperature extremes. They offer closers that allow the gate to open 180 degrees with the hydraulic gate closer and hinge combination without the need for a stop. Lochinox was introduced to us by one of our customers who practically begged us to put it in inventory, and it is moving off the shelf like hotcakes. For more information, go to our new website, which is fabulous, and look for Lochinox, and you'll find great information there along with the link to their website. Hey, and don't leave us too soon, because we still have to give away that $1,000 Amazon gift card.
Here at Access Hardware Supply, we're blessed with knowledge, and we want to share that with our customers. Coming up next, I have Bill Smoyer. He's going to teach you how to adjust a solenoid device on a Von Duprin.
Von Duprin makes a premium exit device, and this short video will show you how to keep it in service for years to come. Sometimes you have a situation where the Von Duprin EL device will release and then relock very quickly, even though your access control timer is set for an extended period of time. And I'm going to make sure that the door is unlatching properly mechanically and then locking properly when the door shuts. To do that, you depress the push pad, and then you can either reach up and release the upper latch yourself or shut the door. If the upper latch is latching and the lower rod is throwing, you know that you're in pretty good shape. Then we need to go to the electric adjustment. In order to do that, I'm going to use my trusty rusty screw gun here and take the end cap off. Remove the slide, which will expose the solenoid. And the solenoid is comprised of the plunger and then the solenoid body itself. It has a 3-wire configuration which goes to what we refer to as the potted circuit breaker. In the newer units, they are clear. And what I'm going to do first is connect my test power supply. I like to carry this along with me and simulate what the problem is. So you've been called out to the door and they say that the door is unlocking and relocking. Something like this, you've probably heard. But you really want it to unlock and stay unlocked for the full duration of the unlock time. What is happening is the latches are reaching their full travel before the solenoid is seated. I'm going to show you how to make that adjustment now. The first thing we're going to do is unplug the power because I don't want to get electrocuted. Then we're going to go ahead and loosen the socket cap screw that holds the nut in place that allows you to adjust the solenoid. So I'm loosening that up. you'll notice that there's a flat spot on the nut. And when we finish our adjustment, we want to make sure that that flat spot is in line with the socket cap screw before we tighten it up. I'm going to go ahead and back off the nut one full turn. It's kind of tricky. Sometimes you have to hold the nut. Here we go. We're coming to the flat spot here. I'm back at the flat spot, and what I'm going to do is tighten it up while I'm testing it. First, I'm going to reconnect the power supply, and I have a release button for my test power supply so I can see how this is working. So I'm going to push and hold it. It's holding, that's good. I'm going to release it. Seems to be working pretty well. Do this about 15 times and open and close the door. Again, I need to remind you to tighten this socket cap screw, because if you don't, what will happen is it will start to move as it goes through, because this is a 16 amp surge being sent to the solenoid, and it causes things to move around a little bit. We're going to go ahead and put the slide back in order, the right way in, hopefully. Sometimes you need to push on the solenoid a little bit to clear it. Now that we've helped you with this technical tip, remember, with our team, you always have access to answers. Since Eric's new to Access hardware supply, he's been studying up on a lot of different products. He's focused on power supplies, and today's technical segment, he's going to teach you how to choose the right power supply for your application, focused around the new Securitron AQL power supply series from ASSA Abloy.
Hello, I'm Eric Mosier of Access Hardware Supply. Today I'll be assisting you in demystifying the selection of power supplies for your access control applications. First, let's quickly review the basics. A power supply is an electrical component that supplies power to your devices. It does this by reducing the mainline voltage down to a lower voltage. In our industry, that's less than 48 volts, as typical devices are powered with only 12 to 24 volts. It performs this action by the use of what's called a step-down transformer. The simplest DC power supply is just a transformer and a full bridge rectifier. Incidentally, since we can't see voltage with the naked eye, the most important tool a technician can have when working with power supplies is a fused meter that can read up to 10 amps. Power supplies can be regulated or unregulated. Regulated power supplies ensure that the output voltage stays at the rated value of the power supply, regardless of what is powering it. They are a great choice if the device you're using is sensitive to power changes, like motor kit devices. Unregulated power supplies are designed to produce a certain voltage at a particular current. The output voltage will decrease as the output current increases, and vice versa. There are two main types of power supplies for access control use. Linear power supplies can often be identified by having large transformers inside their enclosures. They take the AC input, typically 120 volts to 240 volts, and then they step it down the voltage with a transformer. They finally rectify and filter the input into a DC output. This creates very clean and consistent power. Some advantages for these linear mode power supplies are simplicity, reliability, and low noise levels. The disadvantage? Linear power supplies are heavy, less efficient, higher cost, and they can run hot. Switching power supplies can often be identified by having fuses or PTCs. These power supplies take an AC input and then rectify and filter it into DC first. The signal is then converted back into AC at a high switching frequency. At this point, it steps down the voltage with a transformer and it is rectified and filtered into a DC output. The process is clearly more complicated compared to the linear power supply. However, it allows for much higher efficiency in power. Units are also much smaller than their linear counterparts. Furthermore, they run extremely cool. The disadvantages? They are more complex and can generate some noise. Now let's discuss some key factors to consider. What type of hardware are you powering? Is it fail safe and requires constant power? Or is it fail secure and requires situational power? Are there any card readers? Once you've identified all the powered devices, you can calculate the total load. The total number of devices also helps you choose which distribution board you need to power all the devices. You also need to be aware of the distance the power supply is from the devices it's powering, because the longer the cable, the more voltage drop can occur. The final thing to consider is whenever you're specifying a power supply, you need to account for at least an additional 20% power. This helps protect the system, as it is never acceptable to max out any power supply. Now let's establish a standard. There's a variety of choices, so it's important no matter what you decide upon, you'll be covered in almost every application. One of the most versatile power supplies on the market is the Securitron AQL series switching power supply. Its modular design saves your company both time and money. No longer do you need to swap an entire power supply enclosure because your customer has grown. All of the AQL series power supplies utilize the same enclosure. To increase the power supply output, you simply change a board. Cost, convenience, and innovation. With the AQL series, you spend less money on inventory, multiple power supply units, because with just a few boards, you can cover an extremely wide range of situations. The Securitron AQL series is available in 12 or 24 volts in single, dual, and multi-voltage units. It can be expanded up to 16 outputs. A unique feature this line offers is that its units have a separate, dedicated output to charge the backup batteries. This is unlike most of their competitors' power supplies that charge their backup batteries with the same output as the devices they were powering in the field. This can cause the lock to feel hot to the touch from overpowering. This feature is also important because the separate dedicated output charges at a higher voltage, which will significantly prolong the battery life. The battery is also protected from deep discharge or possible damage due to the low battery cutoff feature. AQL power supplies have enhanced surge immunity for their inputs and for their outputs, which protects the connected devices from possible electrical damage. Another huge benefit is the mix and match UL listing. Every accessory board that is offered has a UL listing. This completely removes the guesswork of keeping your UL safety and sustainability standards. Another thing that sets the AQL power supplies apart from their competition is that they have a lifetime, no questions asked warranty. This means your power supply could literally fall off the back of your truck and you can get a new one replaced without a worry. Securitron truly stands behind this product. It is for all of these reasons why the AQL series is a great choice to establish as a company standard. I hope this video has shed some light on the mystery of selecting the right power supply for your access control solutions. Please feel free to reach out to any one of us here at Access Hardware with questions or to discuss your future needs. Thank you for watching.
Well, Eric, it looks like we have a few questions that have come in from the audience about our virtual trade show. Here's one that came in. It says, Bill, being that the Securitron AQL is a modular power supply, can I add a module and still maintain the UL 294 certification? That's a really good question. And yes, you can maintain the UL 294 certification, and that's what makes the power supply series so special.
Well, Bill, you're going to love this next question. Eric, is it true that Bill rides in the back of your car when you take him someplace? Well, folks, he even makes me wear the hat.
They weren't supposed to say anything about that. That's not fair. Thanks, Brian. All right, here's one that just came in. Bill, this one is from the California Institute for Women, Chino, and it's for Eric. Eric, are you single?
Yes, I am. Thanks for that one.
All right.
Oh, God.
So what do you got up? You got another question, buddy?
Yeah, the next question I have is there an upcharge to the Schlage mobile solutions on the NDE? Well, with Allegion's current pricing is no. There's no upcharge for it.
Okay. Well, that's good. That's a good deal. So for the current price list, there's no upcharge?
No, sir.
So buy it while it lasts. All right. Okay, my question that just came in says, Bill, where does Medeco XT fit into the total security solution for a facility? And that's a really good question, and I'm real passionate about it. Is coming from the integration side of the world, is Medeco XT can enhance your existing access control platform, because the weakest point in your access control system is the physical key. So by upgrading that to something that has trackability, it really increases security of your facility. So that's one point. The second point is for those customers that are looking for some type of control but don't want to invest the money in a full-blown access control system, they can use the Medeco XT and still get that access control that they need that's more at a budget price, and it really helps out. So I encourage all our customers that are in sales to make sure that they have the Medeco as part of their toolkit and when they're presenting solutions to the customers. So very good question out there.
Oh, Bill, I just got another great one. They're asking, can I replace my current push-to-exit buttons for touchless solutions? Well, that's, like I said, a great question. And yes, you absolutely can change for a wave-to-exit button. You no longer are limited by having to push anything nowadays.
Oh, okay. You know, I think I'm out of questions. Do you have any more?
Yeah, I got one more from Lori. She's asking, what's the current price list for the LCN operators? And Lori, that's a great question, so thank you for it. Well, because there's so many options, it's going to be a little complex to get to it here. However, if you reach out to your sales rep, he'll definitely get back to you with your specific pricing. But the list pricings range from about $2,000 to about $5,000.
Very good, very good. So I know everyone out there wants to get that $1,000 Amazon card we're giving away. But everyone that attends the trade show is going to get something. We're going to send out some trade show swag. So we've got your email address, we've got your addresses, we're going to get something nice out to you. But just for attending the show, okay, anyone who places an order on the e-commerce website is going to get 15%, those of you who are attending the show now. And what you're going to want to use is AHS Virtual for that extra discount in the comment section of your order, okay? So make sure you do that. And now we're going to come and make a drawing for the $1,000 Amazon card. Now, all the entries for the drawing have come in, and we're using Eric's hard hat. Now, Eric was just out with the village people doing a reenactment of shooting the video, so I'm glad you brought this along.
Hey, I'm just doing my part.
So would you like to draw the ticket and hand it to me, and I'll read it?
Sure. Let's get a good one from the
The
bottom.
one with tape on it.
Oh, okay, here we go.
Okay, you got it? All right, so the winner of the $1,000 Amazon gift card is Carmen Robles from Clovis Glass. Carmen, congratulations on winning the $1,000, and enjoy that, all right? Congratulations again. And this brings to the conclusion our virtual trade show here at Access Hardware Supply. We know right now it's been challenging times, but we're trying to be flexible and make sure we're getting the message out to you and hope that you've enjoyed it. Also, I want to remind you that if you have anything you need, go to accesshardware.com. We have a great new website. We have a great new e-commerce system. It's just wonderful. It's just phenomenal. It takes all of the technology and all the knowledge and puts it in one place. And also, if you need any help, we're just a phone call away at 800-348-2263. That's 800-348-2263. Or you can reach out to us at sales@accesshardware.com. Again, sales@accesshardware.com. And I want to thank our newest team member for joining me in this video segment for the virtual trade show. It's really good to have some help. And just know that Access Hardware is ourselves and about 46 other people. And I want to thank all of our team that helps us make magic every day. And thank you to all our customers. Be safe and well out there.